I was very fortunate to witness the evolution of customer experience over the last few years. By the way, not just in America, but also abroad. And that's the role that customer-centric companies now entrust support and success to play in their organization. Customer support was previously viewed as a cost center. And as more companies became smarter and customer-centric, they began to understand the importance of transforming customer support and customer success and preparing them to take ownership of both customer experience and their success. Because I think it's no longer enough to strive for customer happiness. I think we really owe it to our customers to make them successful, right? And, things were not always this way. In fact, I remember a time when every company in Silicon Valley and their neighbor were very much revenue-centric, far more revenue-centric than they were customer-centric. And a few years ago, I was working for one such company, an amazing organization in the ed tech space. I was leading their customer success organization, and we were responsible for handling typical post-sales activities from onboarding to nurturing and expansion and renewals. At the time, I think that revenue was very much at the forefront of every single decision that that company made, from product roadmap decisions to functional strategies and even employee incentives. I think we were, it's fair to say, obsessive about our revenue goals. When you think about even our customer success strategy, our goal was to increase product adoption. And we thought that, helping our customers realize value as soon as possible would lead to, additional features being used and more upsell and cross-sell opportunities. Really everything we did was to really achieve our revenue expansion goals. If you would ask anyone at the time, anyone across the company, how they felt about our customers, I'm pretty sure that the answer would have been that they are very important to our business, right? And yet our attitude was very much that the revenue they brought was far more important than customers themselves. And that's why our customer success strategy was very much laser focused on transforming every single interaction into an opportunity to drive growth. Our webinars, our nurturing campaigns, even our support interactions, absolutely everything was tailored to help our company achieve our revenue goals, right? So we had a sound strategy, and based on the successful execution of our tactics, it appeared that the team was doing an outstanding job. But we needed to be sure, and so we thought, the best way to know was to survey our customers to understand the impact that our actions were having on them. And that's exactly what we did. And when we analyzed the survey results, we were all very shocked. And that's because up until then, we were all confident that we were winning, And suddenly the data was painting a completely different picture, right? So it became very clear and painfully clear to us that despite the secondary focus on the success of our customers, we were so obsessed with achieving our revenue goals that in the process, customers were left behind. And guess what? They noticed, right? Our customers viewed us as a replaceable provider that did not add as much value as we thought. And a deeper analysis revealed that they just didn't trust us. They really thought that our competitors were better equipped to help them achieve their goals. And so from that point on, we knew something had to change and change fast. So we created a number of initiatives that included partnering with our customers to, help them achieve their desired outcome. I think it was about time. The response was, quite positive, and I think over time we managed to improve customer perception of us as a partner in their success. I have to say, though, as a customer support and as a customer success professional, that was probably the eureka moment of my career. I think that's when customers taught me the importance of focusing and putting their success first. The problem was by then it was too little, too late. Our customers had taken their business to our competitors. And I remember thinking, how did a strategy that we had created to achieve our revenue goals was now, backfiring in such a painful way. Our strategy had introduced a much bigger problem for the company, and that was churn, right? But not only did it take us a long time to realize what was happening, we were also, frankly, not equipped to tackle churn. We really weren't prepared for it. And unfortunately, the company never fully recovered. In fact, churn ultimately drove us out of business. It was a disastrous experience, but the failure taught me many valuable lessons about many things. Churn, revenue, customers, my team, my own strengths and weaknesses as a support and success leader. The first lesson was it should always be about customers. I think, anytime a strategy centers around your customers and their needs and their success, companies win, right? Expansion happens. Retention and customer loyalty are never an issue. And guess what? They all impact revenue. The second lesson is customers rarely leave companies that make them successful. I think the only exception is, when they themselves go out of business or can't afford you, right? Lesson number 3, there is a correlation between their success and your success. So it's a win-win scenario. If you take care of your customers, they will take care of you. The final lesson, there's many more, but the last one that I would mention is listen to your customers. Even when you listen to customers, they tell you exactly what you need to do to keep them, right? So you will then be able to invest your resources strategically to keep your customers. So listen to your customers and leverage what you learn to transform their experience while helping your company achieve their financial goals. So that's pretty much what I learned from my time at that company, and I hope it was helpful.